welcome to the second day of Champagne and Success. We're really, really, really happy you're here. So cheers, ladies, Barbara and Melissa.
Cheers. Don't look at mine.
Okay, yeah, so I'm drinking water, but that's okay.
I'm not.
These girls are crazy, 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 crazy. So it's day 2 and I'm really, really excited to be here. It's mid-afternoon and we're already like drinking a little bit, but it's summer and I'm not going to spend a lot of time introducing Melissa because Melissa's over somewhere in the screen and she's amazing and you know her as our Academy Director. And Barbara, welcome Barbara. Thanks so much for being here.
So excited to be here today. Thank you all so much for having me.
You're welcome. Yay. And if you have no clue what we're doing, this is part of our Champagne and Success. We're interviewing amazing women who are doing crazy, awesome things, not only in life, but in business. And they really, really are inspiring. So we hope that you enjoy this interview. And I'm excited to get to know Barbara better as well.
All right. So with that, we want to know who is Barbara. And I'm going to introduce you. Barbra Portzline is the president and CEO at Organizational Rebel. And I just love this. She's an organizational intuitive. So she's going to be able to tell us what that is. So Barbara, what does that mean? What do you get to do all day?
What I really get to do is I help business owners look at where they are and where they want to be. And the cool thing about using intuition in that process is I can look at somebody and just based on, and I know it sounds a little freaky deaky, and I'm telling you, like, I'm East Coast, like type A, came from New York City, was not woo-woo at all until the past like 6 months. But I will tell you that I really can tell by their energy. I can see, like literally see them going big, and I can see some of the blocks that prevent them from getting there.
Wow. How do you do that? Like, how did you come to this intuitive part of your business?
You know what's so interesting is, like so many women, I have been so busy all my life, you know, from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. I'm scheduled. I have a million things going on. And it wasn't until the past 6 months to a year or so where I actually slowed down for a minute. You know, it's something that I always knew that I had, but there was this point where I just ignored it because I was so focused on accomplishing things and doing things. And I really just didn't pay attention to that piece of myself. But once I started slowing down and really being mindful and like setting my intention that I already know the answer for a lot of things, it just kind of came. It's like sometimes when you go out, you have that like feeling in your stomach. Someone's like, oh, do you want to do this work? And you're like, sure, I'll do it. And then you leave and you're like, oh crap, I can't believe I just committed to doing it. It's because you're ignoring your intuition. Like everyone has it. It's about slowing down and really like listening to your body and thinking.
Okay, so tell us more about your business and how that came to be and the name of your business.
I love your name, by the way.
Thank you. Well, you know, it's so funny. I said I grew up in the East Coast, and the path was that you go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, you wait for that gold watch, you retire, and you die. And that was pretty much it. That was the expectation. I talked to my family, they'd complain about work. I talked to my friends, they'd complain about work. And it wasn't until years later when I moved out from New York City to New Mexico, which was a whole story in its own. But when I moved out and I realized there were actually people that worked at the same places that everyone else was miserable, and they actually enjoyed it. And so I started studying, I went back to school, I started studying the strategies that those people used, that they really thrived in the workplace. So organizational rebels are those people that can actually enjoy what they do, that actually maintain integrity while everyone else has a lot of drama and a lot of stuff is going on. And those are the people that are rebels. And so I really, I changed, my whole business came out of wanting to work with those people, wanting to help people to step into their power and not just go with the status quo.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, is this something that you've always been doing, or when did you start doing this, and when did Organizational Rebel officially begin? Tell that story of how the company began.
So I started writing a book. That's how it started is, I worked in so many miserable places. And I don't know if you all have ever worked places where you're like, oh my God, if I have to go in here one more day, I'm going to kill somebody or kill myself. And you're just like dying. So I had so much of that. And I realized that I just needed to leave. Like I needed to do my own thing. And I tried for many years. Organizational Rebel is my fourth business. So I started and I made so many mistakes along the way. I grew up in scarcity. So my family, even though we had plenty, I grew up in a very fancy schmancy area where everyone, they turn 16 and they get a Mercedes, and like life was very strange for me. And so it all came out of this, like, even though I had enough, I felt deprived because my family didn't do things like that. And it was a very strange thing. And then when I was in my 20s, I moved to New Mexico, and all of a sudden I started getting paid a lot of money to do work because I was good at what I did, and I went crazy. So I would like buy a pool table instead of paying the mortgage. Like that's how, I was just like, oh yeah, I could get all that cool stuff that I always wanted. Like a little kid.
Like this.
And so I had many years though where I was stuck in that scarcity, right? Because like I would just spend money like crazy, and then I wouldn't have enough, and I was a consultant, so I'd get like a $30,000 check, and then I'd have nothing for months. And that was the pattern. And it was a long, long pattern. And it wasn't until literally like a year ago, like I'm 40 something, and it wasn't until a year ago where I was like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. And so that was when I decided to flip the switch on a lot of things. I slowed down. I became more intentional with my life and my schedule. I was much clearer on what my vision was, and I was much more aligned to what I really wanted to do. I started Organizational Rebel because I really wanted to help people. Like I wanted to help them get their businesses up and running in a really quick, efficient way. And at that time, I made the decision to launch the company, and it's just I've shifted, it's shifted. And I feel like I finally have that secret. Like I know how to help somebody. I know like what it feels like to have a lot of limiting beliefs. I know what it feels like to just jump on work because you're afraid you're not going to get anything else. I know what it feels like to wake up in the middle of the night, like, holy crap, how am I going to pay my bills? Mm-hmm. And I also know what it feels like when you wake up every day and you're like, I'm going to set my intention and I'm going to freaking rock it today, and I'm going to make a ton of money, and people are going to be attracted by my energy, and clients are going to keep coming. So that's kind of where I was, and now this is where I am. And anyone that knows me knows that like that is my passion, to help other people get that.
Question.
I don't think I answered any of your questions, but I felt like that was a great sentence.
Amazing. I know Megan has a question, but I've known you, Barbara, for a few years through many different ways. And I even learned something new about you today that was just completely, thank you for sharing that. I didn't even know some of that journey.
Okay, so I love that. It's super inspiring. And it's everything you were saying. I was like, uh-oh, I've been there. Uh-oh, I've done that. Oh my gosh, that comes up for almost all of our clients. But what would you say is one of the number one limiting beliefs with your clients? Like what keeps coming up?
I really believe that our net worth is related to our self-worth. So if somebody at the core does not believe that they are worthy, or that they are competent, or that they can really make a difference, it's going to impact how much money you make. And I feel like a lot of people that I meet with, like, they just have these messages, because when you're born with two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of being alone, and everything else is learned. So like all of those things where your parents say, don't step too close to the edge, you're going to fall, or don't do that, or oh my God, you're going to kill somebody if you do that, or you're not meant to have a book on Oprah's book list, or, our family, we don't do things like that, or you don't deserve money, or whatever it is. It's like all that crap is in somebody's head. And what happens is like we keep telling ourselves these messages, even if no one's telling them. And so I see that all the time.
Interesting. So I have another question, because I'm curious, and I want people to walk away from all of these interviews kind of maybe with a shift or something where they can reach out to you, or they can reach within themselves. What is the first thing that you would tell someone to do if they're feeling that like you're not worth $30,000 client, or you're not even worth a $500 client, honestly. What would you say?
Oh gosh, there's so so much. Well, the first thing I tell everyone to do is really write out, and I'm not saying like your vision in like a vision statement, but write out your organizational story. Like get a beautiful journal and write out how do you see yourself in 6 months from now if your logical brain was not there? Like if you could just dream big, who would you be working with? What does it look like? How much money would be in your bank account? How would you structure your day? Would you wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning and call a few people and, be in your beach in Hawaii? Oh, that's my dream. Never mind. That's mine. So you can see it. I know you see it.
I'm still in your dream.
Okay, that's fine. See, I knew it. I just felt it. But I mean, it's like really, how do you want to structure your day? Because again, like so many of us are like, ugh. So once you get clear on that and really write it out, like you feel it, I also tell them to go and get like a bottle of wine or Perrier or champagne or whatever they're doing, a candle, a bubble bath, incense, a box of tissues, whatever it is you need, and write your crap story, like why you're not there. All of that stuff that's in your head. And I tell them, like, cry through it and write it. You're not good enough. You don't deserve it. You're never going to amount to anything. You're lazy, whatever those messages are. And then I tell people to rip it up, like ceremoniously rip it up, burn it, and get rid of it because it's not serving you. And then there's more and more and more. So I'll just stop there.
No, thank you, because I appreciate you telling us sort of the first steps, because I find so often we're kind of hearing like, just let it go. But how do you do it? So thank you, because I think even for myself, I'm like, I'm going to go have a bath with a bottle of wine. Just burn some shit and light that stuff on fire, but accept the new things that I actually want and I know that I want. Like I want these things and I'm worthy of them.
I give this example all the time. Like when I first changed my last name to Portzline, which is, it was like, what the hell is this? So I would meet people and I would say like, my name's Barbra Portzline, Portzline. Like I'd spell it out like I had major issue, and I would spell it out because it was so foreign to me. And then I'd make jokes. I'd be like pork rind, pour slime, port wine. I would just say the dumbest things because it wasn't aligned to who I was. And I was like, okay, whatever, this is crazy. But I don't know if it's 21 days, 30 days, whatever you think it makes a habit. But after you say it and you like finally own it and you wake up and you're like, yeah, I guess I'm a Portzline now, like 30 something years of my life, I'm a Portzline. But now I don't do that anymore, right? Like, cause I would look really bizarre if I kept introducing myself and spelling it. So it's the same thing though. Like you can wake up and you can give in to, oh my God, I owe everybody money. I can't get clients. I'm a failure. Or you can just like flip that and wake up every day and say, my energy attracts the right clients. Money flows to me easily each day. I tell people to say it in the car, like drive in the car, no matter how goofy you sound, and just do it because after 21, 30 days, whatever, it will change. And it really is. It's about being in alignment with who you are at the core.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just love too, what you said is you had your story of all the different jobs and careers you've had, but it wasn't until last year, a year ago, that you had taken that shift and changed. So Organizational Rebel has been around for how long?
Since September 1st.
Awesome.
Since September. And you're already kicking ass.
I'm kicking ass. Like I really am kicking ass. Like I'm going to a meeting in Hawaii. Like, hello. I know. Closer, right? I'm so excited.
I know. I'm waiting for my tickets.
I know.
That's crazy.
It is. And it's taken a long time. And so that's the thing that it's like, it's never too late. Like I meet people that feel like I've done this my whole life and that's it. I can't change. And it's like, no, why can't you? It doesn't matter. Some of my clients are like over 60 years old and they are rocking stuff. They're starting new careers. And it's like, finally someone says, you know what, you can do it. And I can help you get there. And that's the cool thing. I didn't realize until I was 46, I'm 47 now. I didn't realize until I was 46 that I was coachable. I thought I knew every damn answer. Like if you would have called me and given me advice on something, I would have been like, I know the answer. I don't need your advice. I got it. And meanwhile, I didn't have it.
Mhm.
So I think that's a piece of it.
And so, Barbara, do you have any tips about that? Because I absolutely love that you said that. How does someone identify that they are coachable, and what can they do so that they are, no matter what age or where they're coming from? If they're starting a business, they've been in business, they want to leave a career. Do you have any tips on how you can recognize that?
Gosh, that's the magic one. I mean, one day I just woke up and I'm like, my life's a shitstorm. So that's
Okay.
how I recognized it, right? So sometimes you have to just say like, okay, like something is just not working here. You know,
Okay.
I mean, and I hate to say it, but they have to be ready. I think as coaches, though, a lot of people, I know a lot of people in your group are in the coaching training area. It's about really being clear on who you want to work with, right?
Right.
Because again, like so many of us live in scarcity. It's like, oh, I'll be your client. And then you're like, oh my God, I wish they would just leave me alone. They're the worst client I've ever had. So it's even people that are doing this work, like need to get up and say like, these are the people that I want to attract. These are the people that have my highest and best interest in mind. Because I'm sure y'all also just find a lot of people that want to suck the energy out of you or get free advice or whatever it is. So it's on both ends. It's, you know, if the person's not ready, there's not a darn thing you can do about making them ready, you know?
Yeah. And so do you have experience, not to kind of go sidebar, but saying that never happens. Nobody ever gets clients like that, right? But you release those clients fairly quick now? Like, are you kind of like, okay, you know what? I love you. Let's be friends, but we're not going to do this.
And so for me, it's a little different because I only work with people quickly and like intensively. Like I'm not like, you know, and people hate when I say it, like all the people that coach me are always like, Barbara, stop saying that. But it really is like, I know my value. I'm a quick worker. I want people that like will do their homework and like are ready to go big quickly. And then I'll be there if they need some like, you know, hey, you're doing great. But like, it's not like a long-term thing for me. But I will tell you that right now I can see the signs really quickly. Like I don't spend as much time saying to someone, oh, you really need to come to this program, or, you know, you really should work. Like I don't do any of that anymore. It's like, I'll just put it out there. I say to people, I'm like, I got my eye on you. I'm like, I want to get my hands on you. I know I can help you. And if they're not into it, then that's it. It's not the right time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
like,
I don't have time for it.
That because I think the chase is sometimes more exhausting than the client. So why chase? Like why do that? Just let it go and it'll happen. I love, like I feel like you're talking to me today. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm like, are you picking up my energy right now?
I got you. I want to work with you. I got my eyes on you, Megan.
Yes. And that's the great thing. And like I said, I've known Barbara in different capacities through the years. And that's the main thing is when you talk to her, how you see her now, it's Barbara. She's so amazing and she's so dynamic and attractive that you just want to know more and be around her. And whenever I get off a phone call with her, I feel like I'm the queen of everything. Like I can do it. I can do it. She's your biggest cheerleader, but not just like rah rah, you're great, you're awesome. No, she's gonna tell it to you for real, and then say, get out there and do it. And I want to see you doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the world needs more Barbara.
Yes.
Now I'm like, I've got the Justin Bieber heart out for all y'all because no, I think it really is like, I'm just really clear on who are the right folks to work that I can help. And if I can't help them, I don't want to waste their time. I never want to take somebody's money or anything if it's not a good fit. And so I really think that it's about, no matter what you do, it's about having alignment and being really clear on who you want to work with, like writing out that organizational story and being crystal clear. Because as soon as you're about to step into your power, there's a million shiny objects that come right in front of you. Like as soon as you're about to take that shift, it's like, oh yeah, you could do this. And why don't you volunteer here? And then it's like, oh crap. And then you wind up again with that schedule and you're sitting there feeling depleted. So it's about writing that story, being really clear on what you want and who you want to be with, who you want to be around, and being intentional. Like saying, you know, when I mean, I have a lot of people that want to have coffee all the time. Everyone seems to want to have coffee. And it's like, do you have something for me? Do you want something from me? Or do you just want to have coffee and schedule accordingly? Like there's only certain amount of hours in a day. So being really intentional with your time and knowing how it aligns to your vision is critical no matter what your job is.
I love that, and that's a great tip because Barbara and I, you know, in networking, you have a lot of that, especially because that's what networking they want you to, you know, have those one-on-ones and face-to-faces, whatever the organization calls it, and they're important, and it's that community before there's an exchange if that's what's going to happen. But I really like too that I like what you had said, like what is the objective here, because you can still do those things, but let's just be real about what's gonna happen here. So I just really appreciate how you said that.
Yeah,
It helped me a ton, for sure.
I'm 100% in agreement. Actually, it's quite rare. When I was first starting, I remember those first few months, I was out for coffee every night. And then it was about 3 months later, I was like, what the F am I doing? Like, I appreciate these people, but I'm a business now. Like, and so there was a massive shift, but as soon as I shifted, I started having coffee and wine with people who were paying me, which felt better for me. So, and I don't even know Barbara. Naked kids. I don't even know Barbara that well, but I truly believe in everything you're saying, and I hope I can kind of work with you in some way. I'm already feeling inspired by what you're saying, so just don't want you guys to see my naked kids.
Naked kids, I know.
They're adorable.
Yeah, they're good.
Sure. No, I think that for me, it was, you know, people always like to tell me how busy I am, which I've stopped like rolling my eyes every time they tell me. But people always like, I know you're so busy, but this and that. And it's like, I'm actually really intentional about how I spend my time and who I spend my time with, because I have those kids are so
I'm gonna tap out, but thank you, Melissa. I won't be back, everybody, but thank you so much. I'm gonna give them popsicles.
Okay, good idea. Bye, Megan.
All right, awesome. So, yeah, that's the life of a busy working professional mom. You got the biz life, the mom life. So completely, my kids are clothed. They've been told not to come and poke their heads in here. So, but yeah, no, and I just. It is truly amazing what you're doing. And I just completely love your story, Barbara, is that I too shifted careers, you know, just less than a year ago, and really just started my business in January. So to hear your story of, you know, you've had successful ventures along the way, but it wasn't until you got that clarity and that vision of really what needed to happen. And now you're probably even way more massively successful in what you're doing, and you're very clear, like what you just talked about, your schedule being very abundant, but you're very clear on what needs to happen so that it's income producing for you, but you are so much very into the family life too. And I see that, and it comes across, and that is just extremely important for a lot of the ladies that are watching this video.
For sure. I think, you know, having that balance, and like we also have work-life balance, but what is that?
Yeah.
And I think really figuring out what balance is to you and making it work. And it's okay to say, like, I don't actually have time for coffee. Like, it's okay. Or say, you know, not now. I'm actually spending the next 6 months really working on building my business, but why don't you check back with me in a couple of months? And it feels a little bit awkward at first, but once you're really clear, it's like using your voice and really speaking your truth is so important.
And they're going to wait for you. The people that really want to connect with you, they're going to wait for you. I've waited a few months to talk to Barbara, and it's completely, totally worth it. And I had a countdown until the day we had to talk. And like I said, it is. It's you're gonna start attracting the people that truly need to work with you or be in your biz work life. Is that you're going to be attracting those people instead of just taking all of these clients that, oh yeah, I'll work with you, I'll work with you, I'll work with you, and they just suck you dry, and then you don't want to do it anymore. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. All right, so we're gonna wrap up here pretty soon. Anything else you want to share about Organizational Rebel? And please share how people can find you, and if you have anything you want to tell us about what's going on in your organization.
Okay, so you can find me at organizationalrebel.com or barbraportzline.com, and it's Barbra. And just doing a lot of really exciting stuff. My signature program is Create Your Signature Program. So I help business owners develop the program that helps them stand out. And so I have a 2-day intensive Monday and Tuesday, and there is one spot left if y'all want to come out to New Mexico. And then I also have July 17th and 18th. And the cool thing is, I am not the kind of person that like can go to a training class and go home and then with my family, my kids, my husband, try to like implement things slowly over time. Like I actually need to be locked in a room to get stuff done. And so the whole concept of this is if you had 2 days to focus just on you as a client instead of treating everyone else and putting everyone else first, you could really get your program like up and running and done. So I bring in a graphic designer, a videographer, a content specialist, a soul transformation coach.
Ooh.
And I know we do
writing that down.
I know, energy healing, everything. Yeah. So I bring in everybody and we basically just get it done. And so it's really cool. We have a great group on Monday and Tuesday of next week. And we're just going to get videos done. We're going to get their content done, their slides done, everything, promotions, marketing, pricing, all of it. And so that is the model that I use. So we have another one on July 17th and 18th. I have an online community, Organizational Rebel Life, which includes like 2 live calls a month and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then, yeah, there's a ton of stuff. Oh, I see someone in your house too, back there waving.
I'm not even. Was it my husband?
Okay, yeah.
It's
unless it was your lover. I don't know, husband, lover. I'm not sure.
No, we have an abundance schedule. It starts after 5 o'clock. Soccer, Girl Scouts, the drill, all that stuff. And so, you squeeze in business where you need to. I've been at an empowering women's event all day. Had this awesome interview with Barbara and Megan, and that's just the thing is I'm learning to be very intentional, because I love that word, with this schedule. But Barbara, you have taught me something very specific about being intentional. Will you share that with everyone? You know what I'm talking about?
Nope,
intention.
Which one?
Intention plus.
Oh, intention plus action makes magic. So like it's one thing to be intentional and have all these great intentions, but if you don't do anything, nothing happens. And it's great to have a whole bunch of action, but if you're all over the place, it's not going to make that magic. So yes, intention plus action makes magic.
And that's great because, like some people, they pick their word of the year or for their business or even personal life. And I've always loved the word intention. It comes from a great book that I love by the late Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I love that. But when you shared with me about the action, yeah, you can have a lot of intention, but it's not until you put that intention into action and then the magic. And I just have always resonated with that. I love it. So thank you so much for always sharing that with me and reminding me of it. And I have it posted here in my office.
Love it. Love it.
All right. We have 2 minutes left. Thank you so much, Barbara, for being on here. She shared how you can get a hold of her. And I have something special, a gift that Barbara has made specifically for this series. And if you want the goods, if you want the video and the worksheet that she has created just for our community, you have to be on my newsletter. So if you want this, leave your email in the comments, or you can message me and I will get that to you, because she has shared a wealth of information in 30 minutes. Can you imagine what you would have working with her in an intensive? I mean, there's the magic right there. Thank you so much, Barbara. I loved hearing everything, and I know the community has been commenting and have a lot of great comments too. I think you have some people who have worked with you, so check it out. And thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.